Any concerns around how tariffs, deglobalization, anything policy wise could impact the thesis?
Right. No, I mean, look, I think one big, I won't call a myth. The debate is obviously around globalization, right? And the big picture is that, look, US is sort of pulling back, and that means almost like an end of globalization, and that will impact emerging markets quite aggressively. I have a slightly different view here. I do think we have been in this new regime for quite some time. But if you look at the underlying data, it's not as if the world is getting deglobalized. The global trade to GDP is still stuck at almost close to historical peaks and sort of stable for the last 12 to 15 years. The difference which has come is if you look at the major markets, US is the only country globally, and I mean, there is New Zealand and a couple of other smaller ones, where trade to GDP has actually declined since 2016 end, so since Trump came. In all other markets, almost 90% of emerging and developed markets, trade to GDP has actually increased in the last 8 years. So the question is that it's not as if trade is weak in the world outside of the US. It's just that the trade architecture is sort of getting realigned. It's moving away from US, and more countries are trying to trade within each other. Now, look, the reality is US is still very important. It is very difficult to imagine a world where all the countries can very easily bypass US and just trade within themselves.